Did you set New Year goals already, and how's that going for you? It's right around now, mid to late January, that the majority of New Year's resolutions are basically null and void. So if you're still struggling to find your rhythm this year, it's okay. It happens. This video is going to help you set better goals or intentions for this year, and it's not actually about future planning and setting a direction to move towards. We're actually going to take a rewind into last year so that we can take the learnings of what worked, what didn't, to apply to this new year. This is an interactive session, so grab your pen and notebook or digital journal and set aside about half an hour for this session. Hi, I'm Jaime Tan at Enlightened Spoon, and on this channel we are all about mindful living. Taking the time to be intentional allows you to create the life you've always dreamed of, or at least take the first few steps in that direction, because a little bit of momentum is what you need to keep that motivation going. Now, if you've been setting quarterly goals along with me last year, you might see that this year we're gonna do things a little differently. You see, I'm someone who tends to do too much. So this year I am doing less, and this includes doing less with this year's goals and intentions. Stick around to the end and I'll give you more of this backstory and what my reduced goals and intentions for the year are. Quick peek into the two things we're going to do in this session before we actually kick it off. Number one, it's to work with a word or theme for the year, something that you want to move towards. Number two is we'll do a past year review, which gives you more clues into what you're going to plan more of this year, and more importantly, what you're going to say no to more of this year. This is something I picked up from Tim Ferriss's blog. I'll link to that below too if you want to read it in his words. Now, if you want to level up this session, you can take it out of the thinking mind and really ground this from within, from your innermost desires from the heart. So it's not about what you think you ought to or should be doing, because that's all stuff that's externally motivated, what other people want of you or what you think other people want of you. I've got a 15-minute meditation you can get into as a prep before this Plan With Me journal session, and we go deep into setting intentions for this year from your heartfelt desire, from your innermost being. I'll put the link to that meditation up there and down in the description, so if you want to level up this session, hit pause, go there, and then come back here. Or we can just begin now if you have your pen and paper ready. I've got my iPad with me today. You're welcome to hit pause anytime on this video as you reflect and write. Your first journal prompt is, think of your word or theme for this year. It could be a value or quality you want to embody more of, and some examples are patience, let go, surrender to what is. Then write this word or theme down on post-it notes and stick it everywhere as a visual reminder as you go about your day today. Your next journal prompt is, on a blank piece of paper, divide the page into two columns. Write positive on one side and negative on the other. Now go through your calendar or scheduling app from last year and go month by month. You're going to feel into the people, events, or commitments from last year that made you feel positive, that made you feel recharged, alive, joyful, and great about life. Put those in the positive column. Now do the same thing with the people, events, or commitments that made you feel blah. You know, the stuff that felt like a drag, like you were doing it out of duty, obligation, or the people that just made you feel heavy and felt like an energy suck. You know who I'm talking about. Put those in the negative column. Now go through the positive column and highlight the top 20% of the people, events, or commitments you feel like they added to the majority of that joy that you felt last year. And then do the same for the negative column. Highlight the top 20% of the yucky people, events, or commitments you felt added to the majority of the drag and negative energy from last year. Now you can clearly see who are the people, what are the events or commitments that you want to be scheduling more of this year. And most importantly, who are the people, events, and commitments you definitely do not want to include in your planner this year. The most important thing about any kind of intentions or goals, whether you're doing it for the new year or not, is that you periodically review and reflect on what's working and what's not. So go to your calendar now and pick a day that works for you. Usually a rest day when you're not working, and have some space and time to reflect. And then schedule it in your diary right now to check in with yourself once a week for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, for the next 4 weeks on how you're doing with moving towards your theme or word for the year, and how you're doing with scheduling more of the top positive and less of the top negatives on your list. Now, of course, if you want to keep continuing this beyond the 4 weeks, that's great, but let's just start with 4 weeks. Anytime I've done this, it's helped me to stay really focused on my intentions, and when I've stopped doing this, it's really added to feeling lost and aimless. Are you a planner like that too or not? Comment down below. I'd love to know which side you're on. And even if you're not a planner, try it out. Keep it simple. Once a week, 10 minutes for 4 weeks, and that's it. So if you stuck around till here, I'm gonna share with you why I'm simplifying and doing it this way this year. As I mentioned, I tend to do too much. You see, I am an executive producer in a creative agency, so I travel a lot for shoots and for post-production. It's early mornings, late nights, and I also teach yoga, meditation, and all the personal rituals to help you stay sane in the midst of a crazy, busy life. And this YouTube channel is a part of that, bringing both my worlds together and sharing what's worked for me, so maybe you can find some inspiration for your life. Now, I always start with a theme for the year, just like how we started today's session. Last year's theme was find rest, and you know, it fluctuated, and I realized the reason I was struggling to find rest at times was just because there was no space in my days. So this year my theme is create space, and it's like the universe was listening, because 3 times in the same week I came across Tim Ferriss's past year review, so it's something I'm trying out this year. And it makes a lot of sense. I need to let go of stuff in order to create that space. So let's start with letting go of what's brought me the least joy. From my last year's review, I've realized I need to plan more new and fun experiences, like traveling, or even if it's just a staycation or as simple as trying out new restaurants. Especially in the last year when life has started to feel a bit same. Intentionally trying new things has really added so much more joy to my life, and I want to do more of that this year. And what to do less of, I won't go into specifics since that's just rude to the people around me, but it's really to not commit myself to anything or anyone who starts to feel like a duty or obligation. And that, my friends, is how I'm going to try to create space for myself this year. It's quite a different approach from doing the quarterly and monthly goals, but let's see how we go. I'd love to hear some of your reflections, insights, or even how you found this approach this year. And let me know if you'd like more Plan With Me sessions to check in on this year's intentions. If you're curious about other ways of approaching New Year goals and intentions that are realistic and more authentic, I talk about it more in this month's email. That's the January 2022 email. I send a newsletter out every first Sunday of the month. I call it my 5 Good Things to Inner Peace. You're very welcome to sign up and dive a little deeper with me, and then head over to create this year's goals from your heart, your innermost desires, by meditating with me in this video. See you there!